بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to Allah. May Allah's peace, blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those who follow his path in righteousness until the day of judgment. In today's webinar, I will be speaking about translation and technology, indispensable partners in the 21st century. And we will have a practical training on the use of Matecate on selected tourism texts in the second part of this webinar. This webinar is presented through the translation unit, and we hope in the translation unit to offer our students and colleagues some insightful guidelines on how to use some technological tools in the, in producing translation or translated materials. So the contents of today's webinar will be, first, I will be speaking about some theoretical issues related to translation technology, and I will be covering some introduction to translation technology, some advantages of the use of translation technology in the process of translation, and I will be speaking about the main types of translation technology, and I will also discuss how, as a translator, would you be able to choose the right translation technological, vendor or software in your translation practices or in your translation agency, if you own an agency, for example, or if you, for example, you have a business in translation. How would you choose the best translation or translation technological tool or application for your business? And then I will finish this section by discussing the future of translation technology. So if you do not want to, listen to the theoretical discussion, you can skip this part and move on to the second part, which is the practical part. And we will have some practical training on how to use Matecate, as a CAT tool in your translation or in your translated, or basically in producing translations on selected tourism texts. And inshallah, it's going to be the second part of today's webinar. All right. So basically here, translation technology has been around for more than 50 years now. And the world has become, increasingly connected or interconnected, and it becomes, more essential. It becomes really essential nowadays. A report which was prepared by MIMSI Insights, which is basically a scientific institution and consulting institution in United States, indicates that we do have within the field of translation technology more than 700 translation technological solutions or applications. So it means we are dealing with very, very huge huge area with so many resources, technological resources, and software applications as well. And all these applications and software tools will help the translators, interpreters, as well as researchers in producing translations in more efficient way. So given this kind of diversity here, how would you find a translation tool that best suits your translation needs or your translation requirements? And we will have more on this, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the next slides. The first step here, you need
to get some, sort of, solid understanding of what translation technology is and how can you use it to a maximum advantage. How would you utilize it, professionally? This is so important. This is so important, and this is the first step in order to be aware of or to be competent in using some technological tools within your translation, practices. Of course, you need to keep reading and practicing to find out more technological tools and how they will be useful in producing translation, texts or products for your clients, or probably for your teachers if you are students. All right, so move to the next slide. So in this slide, I will be speaking about some definitions related to translation technology. So the question is, or the main question here, what do we mean by translation technology? Translation technology is basically the use of software tools that support the process of translation or the process of converting written text from one language into another. So translation technology will increase three main aspects in your translation practices. First, productivity, accuracy, the second one, and the third one is overall effectiveness. So you will be very productive and accurate, and you will be effective. Your translation will be effective as well. Your translation will be effective as well. And you cannot have these three aspects unless you use some form of technological tools within your translation, practices or activities. So the term translation technology encompasses everything from translation memories, which is known, or translation memories, which are known as TMs, and terminology management tools, to machine translation, MT, virtual interpreting technology, and even voice to text recognition technologies. So basically, translation technology covers a very wide, I would say, wide range of, applications as well as software tools within your translation practices or within translation studies. Right. So before the use of translation technology, or before the use of technology within your translation, activities, what did translator normally do? Basically, they translated using the traditional way. They use their, of course, they're gonna use their, or they get used to use their pens as well as their, dictionary, paper-based dictionaries. So translators used to consult their paper-based dictionaries in order to find out the best, equivalence for the source text equivalence in their translation practices or activities. But there are some negative consequences related to the traditional way or mode of using, basically the use of paper-based dictionaries. What are they? Some of these negative consequences might be, first, you might be, delayed. You might have some kind of delay in terms of delivering your translation products to your clients or maybe to your teachers. So you're gonna have delayed time to market, or maybe to clients. And second, you may have a general loss of consistency across content. So as a translator, using the traditional, way or approach, you cannot ensure consistency every time you translate text from the source language into target language. And this is another issue, the second issue. The third one here is you may have high costs of inefficient operations, so these operations can be processed very easy, or processed easily with the use of technological tools. And then the fourth one here, you may have a lower output quality resulting from having to manually check for errors. And this relates to something called quality assurance. So as a human translator, using the old approach, the traditional approach, you cannot ensure high quality translated materials or products, because you cannot have the ability to check out every mistake in your translation. But with the use of technology, you can be able to have something called quality assurance, which can be processed, using some form of technological tools. All right, so we'll move to the next slide. And on this slide, I will discuss how does translation technology help translators or translation agencies as well. So the birth of translation technology has changed everything within the context of translation studies. Tools such as translation memories, which can be able to store previous translations to inform and to expedite or accelerate your translation projects, and with the use of translation management systems, which can be really helpful with regards to automating repetitive processes and increasing control for all translation tasks. So everything has been changed since the emergence or the rise of translation technology within the field of translation studies. All right. So what are the benefits of using translation technology in your translational activities or translation, processes? Well, basically, translation technology will allow translators, researchers, and of course, translation agencies to first ensure high quality in terms of translated tasks by checking spelling, grammar or grammatical errors, as well as some stylistic or probably some structural issues within your translations. So through the use of technology in your translation, you will ensure that your translated materials will be produced with high quality. Second, translation technology will help to increase consistency across content by storing previous translations that can be reused or consulted in future projects. So, and this process can be done through the use of translation memories, So you can have access to your previous translations, and then you're gonna ensure that your translations will be as consistent as possible. The third benefit here is translation technology will improve operational efficiency as well. What does this mean? It means basically through the process of automating translation management tasks, the whole process, the whole translation process will be more efficient, and it would save much time. It would save much time for translators as well as for the whole agency, the whole translation agency, I mean. And then the use of technology within translation will help you to accelerate time to market by enabling the production of more content in very less, or in less time or very limited time. So you're gonna ensure that your translation will meet the requirements, especially if you have very short deadlines. With the use of technology, you can ensure and accelerate or speed up the process of translation. So basically, it's going to save a lot of time. It's, it becomes really, it would save effort and time as well. So these are the benefits. Right. Okay, so what are the main types of translation technology? So I should say something first here. Modern translation technology is constantly evolving. Every time we have new inventions, we have new advancements in the field of translation technology. And this is because of constant and continuous advancements in the field of technology. So we need to keep this in mind. We need to keep this in mind. You might have something which is new this year, and probably next year it's going to be very old, and you need to be updated. You need to update your, you need to update yourself with advancements within the field of translation technology. All right. Okay. So we will have, a list which cannot be exhaustive, which cannot be comprehensive, to the most popular translation technologies. First, we will discuss computer assisted translation, which is called CAT tools, which is abbreviated and notably known as CAT tools. What do we mean by CAT tools? CAT tools are basically software applications created to support translators in their daily work. These CAT tools use databases of previous translations, usually from a specific source language and target language, as well as frequency information, segmentation data, and a wealth of other resources to assist translators in their own translation processes. So that's what we mean by CAT tools. So the CAT tools are basically what? Software applications which help translators to produce, translations based on, certain or specific databases of previous translations, which is known as translation memories. And I will have more on this, inshallah, later on. So basically, or visually, a CAT tool interface usually displays two columns or panels. One shows the source text on the left side of the screen, and on the right side, you will have, you're gonna have the target text. You're gonna have the target text. And typically, or normally, the tool or the CAT tool, any CAT tool, will segment the source text into small chunks, might be sentences, paragraphs, in order to make it easier for translators to keep track of the flow of information, So basically, any CAT tool will be able to, divide the source text into short or small chunks. Might be, as I said, sentences or probably paragraphs. So what are the benefits or the functions of CAT tools? CAT tools usually have a large number of functions. I will discuss them very briefly here. First one, the most popular function of CAT tools is called translation memories, TMs. Translation memories allow translators to reuse their previous translations stored in the translation memories. And it's going to be very, very efficient for translators to check out their previous translations and to reduce the time and effort spent on certain translation project. The second one is term bases or glossaries, which can be used to search for brand specific or project specific terminologies. So you can use CAT tools to create your own translation glossaries for specific types of text, such as religious, legal, literary, or might be even scientific or medical. Also, you have the option to click through a secondary resources for additional context, such as images or comments left by other translators, or probably by the project manager or any other agents involved in the translation process. So these are 3 functions, and we will have more. We'll have more. So in this, sorry. The fourth function here, you can have access to advanced search and navigation tools through the use of translation or CAT tools, through the use of CAT tools. And the fifth one here, you can be able to create reports detailing how much of the translation has been completed. So CAT tools will automatically create reports showing how much of the translation has been completed. You will have also access to auto completion of segments as well. So CAT tools will show you the segments which which basically have been already translated and saved, already stored in translation memories. And also you can have access to something called quality assurance, QA tools. What does this mean? Basically, these tools will help translators to search for errors in the translation, such as untranslated segments, missing numbers, or instances where the same word has 2 different translations, or maybe punctuations or some structural issues, through the use of this function, quality assurance. And then you can have access to the possibility of generating a final translated document. What does this mean? This means that CAT tools will automatically mirror the original document's format. So if you want to have the same format of the source text in your translated text, which is target text, you can have the same format through the use of CAT tools. And this is really, really interesting, and this is one of the really useful functions of CAT tools. Finally, you can have access to some form of integration with other translation technologies, such as neural machine translation, MT engines, which I will be speaking about later on, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So some CAT tools would have access to some machine translation engines. Some of them are neural, and I will be speaking about it, inshallah, later on. So basically here, CAT tools have made a revolution within the field of translation technology by making the process of translation much easier for agencies, for translators, for researchers to optimize the translation process and to handle large amounts of content in a more efficient way, saving both time and money. And of course, for us as translators, the main benefit here, we can use the time saved on repetitive tasks to focus more on the translation itself. So instead of focusing on repeating everything and starting, reinventing the wheel, as they normally, say, and doing, translation from scratch, we can use the existing, translations saved through the CAT tools, memories, translation memories, in order to produce very efficient and very, competent and accurate translation and consistent translations as well. And of course, we will have more focus on the translation itself, not on repeating the same or the repetitive, tasks every time. So these are the benefits of the use of CAT tools in translation. So quickly, I need to move very quickly to discuss the practical, training of Matecate. The second popular translation technological tools is called machine translation. What do we mean by machine translation? It's basically an automated system that allows for the production of translation or translated content without human intervention. So the whole process will be done without the human input, will be done entirely by machine translation. And the clear example of machine translation is Google Translate. So it's going to, Google Translate will do everything without the human intervention. So it's not, machine translation is not a new phenomenon within the field of translation. However, the advances in technology that have taken place in recent years have led to a rise in the use of machine translations. All right. So here, very interesting point here. What's the difference between machine translation and CAT tools? So what's the difference? So difference here should be deleted. It shouldn't be here. So what's the difference between machine translation and CAT tools? So machine translation will produce the translated content without human intervention. So machine translation, as I said, will produce translations entirely on its own without any human input. And this is totally different from the use of CAT tools, which is about computer, which is, as I said, it can be, it can be discussed as, something which can be, which can assist translators through the translation process. CAT tools, computer assisted translation. So we have human, which is translator, and we have these tools which can help translators throughout the translation process. Right. So what are the types of machine translation? There are 3 types of machine translations. One is the role-based machine translation, which is basically A machine translation that translates words and sentences based on a set of rules that can be adjusted by the user of that particular machine translation or engine. Allahu Akbar. The second type here is the statistical machine translation, SMT, which is basically refers to the system that translates based on a corpus, a large body of parallel texts that the engine has been trained on. And then we can have the third type. I'm not sure if maybe it's not displayed here. The third type, which is known as neural machine translation, NMT. It's basically a type of machine translation that is powered by artificial intelligence, الذكاء الاصطناعي, and it's capable of imitating or mimicking or imitating the way a human brain works when processing language. And we'll have more on the next slide, inshallah. Right. So all machine translation engines are capable of understanding an entire sentences and even paragraphs at once, and instead of translating word by word. So they have the ability or capability to translate sentences, whole sentences, as well as paragraphs, due to the technological advancements in the field of translation technology, and with a particularly in the field of machine translations. Until 2016, machine translation systems were based on the second type, statistical approach. But today, most of the machine translation engines are neural, which is basically they are powered by the use of artificial intelligence. So the quality of machine translation output varies depending on many factors. So there are factors affecting the final or the output product of translations with the use of machine translation. What are these factors? Some of these factors are the language pairs, the subject matter of the source text, and also the source text pre-editing process, which might eliminates certain parts of the source text, and it may cause the translation machine engine to struggle throughout the translation process. So if you change something in the source text, especially if it's literally text or maybe legal texts or religious text, if you change something in the source text, the machine translation might struggle to produce translations or to produce very accurate translation or translated content. And also the scope of the project and the amount of data available for training the engine as well, and the use of editing resources or human translators to refine the translation output. These factors will influence or will affect the use of translation or machine translation engines. So machine translation is nowadays integrated in most modern CAT tools. So if you remember the discussion on the CAT tools or about the CAT tools in the previous slides, some of them, they already integrate or include some forms of machine translation engines. So you can find some machine translation engines included within these CAT tools. And of course, these these engines will aid or will help the work of something called post-editing. Post-editing, especially with the use of CAT tools, features such as glossaries, term bases, as well as translation memories. So it will help translators to post-editing the translated content as well. In this slide, I will be speaking about translation management systems, TMS, which is the third popular type of technological tools used in the field of translation and interpreting. What do I mean by this? Translation management systems are considered as software applications or platforms designed for translation project management to control the whole translation process right from the beginning until the end. So basically, any translation management system would streamline, control the translation process from start to finish, will create a workflow from the initial request to translation itself until its completion and delivery to the clients. And of course, it would allow users to plan, assign, and manage translation projects in very organized manner. So basically هذا ما يسمى نظام إدارة مشاريع الترجمة. نظام إدارة مشاريع الترجمة. A software which is designed to streamline, to manage the translation process right from the beginning until the end. So TMS solutions vary according to the needs of users. Some of them might be cloud-based or web-based, platforms, and some of them they can be on-site as well. They can be downloaded or installed on your computer. But all these types of, TMS applications would include, some common set of features, some essential features, such as it would include, support for multiple languages and file formats. It would have a dashboard that displays a project's status and provides access to essential tools in one place. And it would be also capable of basically controlling or managing processes by adding users or importing existing translation requests from other systems for easier collaboration with third-party providers. And it would be also capable of assigning, modifying, or releasing tasks at any point in the project or throughout the project. It would have the function to report, the progress of the translation, translation product as well. And you can have also, some CAT tools, functionalities, included within these TMS system, applications as well. So basically, you can have more functions, more technological functions in just one translation management system application. and it's going to be very, very efficient for translators. It's going to, make the translation process more systematic, and it would help translation agencies to control the translation process, as I said, right from the beginning until the end, All right. So the question here, or one of the common questions, related to the use of translation technology within the field of translation, which software is right for me as a translator or as an academic? So there are some points that must be considered when you are considering or evaluating some potential translation, tools for your translation industry or translation, translation activities. First, you need to look for providers that offer concrete examples of work they have done with other clients. This is so important. So you need to have a look into, previous, experiences as well, previous experiences with other clients. You need to find a provider that can help you choose which features are best for your translation agency or business, if you own a business. You need to give priority to vendors or companies that cover everything you need now. So this is so important. So if you have more functions in one particular, technological tool, translation technological tool, it's going to be really, suitable and really, really important in your translation activities. You need to consider what kind of support you will need throughout the translation process. And most of translation technological, companies would offer, training sessions and troubleshooting, assistance whenever necessary. So if you need to, for example, find out some information about a specific, technological tool in translation, I'm sure you can find many, tutorials about this throughout the internet as well. You need also to decide whether you want an on-site or cloud or internet or web-based solution, and this is it's up to you. At the end of the day, it's up to you. As a translator, you need to decide if you prefer to have, a tool which is installed on your computer, or to work through, a software which is, web-based, or which can be accessed through the internet. You need to choose a provider that offers the most advanced AI, artificial intelligence powered machine translation. And this is so important. As I said, within the field of translation technology, you're gonna have so many, constant and continuous advancements, technological advancements, and you need to have a tool which is updated with the most advanced artificial intelligence, machine translation processes, and of course, functions as well. Finally, you need to pick up a tool that can be used on any operating system. And this is so important. This is so important, especially if you are using different, operating systems. If you are using, for example, Windows or Mac, so you need to pick up, or select a software that is compatible with all of these, operating systems. And this is so important. All right. So the last part of the theoretical discussion here is what's the future of translation technology? So translation technology, translation technology nowadays is more nuanced than they were even just a couple of decades ago, with the continuous advancements and technological innovations within the field of translation technology, as I discussed this aspect earlier. So translation technology will only grow stronger as artificial intelligence continues to advance. So there is a relationship here. Here is a relationship, an indispensable relationship between the advancements within the field of AI, artificial intelligence, as well as with the translation technological advancements. So it's going to grow. It's gonna grow in the future. It's gonna grow stronger in the future. All right, but translation will never be completely automated, because human translators and specialized machine translation tools have their own advantages that complement each other. Of course, this is a very important point here. So technology or translation technological tools cannot replace human translators. So we still need human translators in the process of translation, even in the future, even with the advancements of artificial intelligence in the future. And they complement each other. They help each other. So tools, technological tools, as well as human translators, they complement each other. They help each other in the course of translation activities. So experts in the field of translation technology agree that the future of translation will combine both human intelligence as well as artificial powered machine translation to produce the best results. So as I said, we cannot eliminate translators. We cannot substitute translators, human translators, with the use of technological tools in the field of translation and interpreting, of course. Because humans are really great when it comes to creativity, because they are able to think outside the box. They have the skills. They have internal skills. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted them with the skills to think out, the box, to think outside the box, basically, to think outside the box. And of course, artificial intelligence advancements will be really useful when it comes to dealing with repetitive tasks or automating repetitive tasks in the field of translation and interpreting. All right, so the horizon looks really bright with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by Allah's will, bi'amrillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And translation technology will continue allowing translators to focus more on the complex translation itself. So translation technologies will help translators to focus more on the translation itself, leaving the tedious and repetitive tasks for AI-powered, tools, which is artificial intelligence, oriented tools. So you're gonna focus more on translation, and all tedious and boring jobs and tasks will be done by, some sort of, technological tools. All right. We'll move to the next slide. All right. So these are some useful references which discuss the concept of translation and technology from different perspectives. And some of these references are included as part of essential materials in the new, in the new plans of BA courses as well as MA courses. So because we have, alhamdulillah, with the new plan, with the new trimester plan, we have courses on translation and technology, and some of these books are already assigned as essential, references for students, whether they are MA students or BA students. For example, the Routledge Handbook of Translation and Technology. This is one of the newly, published books in 2019. The Future of Translation Technology by Chan Sinwai, and a project-based approach to translation technology by Rosemary Mitchell. And we have also a dictionary of translation technology, All right, so we'll move quickly to the second part, but I will have a break for 5 minutes, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I will be back discussing the practical part of using Matecate, which is a free online CAT tool for translators and researchers. And then inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will I'll go back inshallah ta'ala to discuss the practical part inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala after the break inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we'll have a break for 5 minutes inshallah, and I will be back.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه إلى يوم الدين.
Right. So the second part of today's webinar will be about the practical training of using Matecate tool on selected tourism related texts. And let me first access the website so I can discuss this tool in more details, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All right, so I'll just need to share the application, or maybe the Google tab, yes, Chrome tab here. Yes, all right. Okay, very good. So this is the website for Matecate, which is developed by basically three institutions, and you can access all information related to Matecate from this website. So basically the founders and the main contributors of Matecate are International Research Center in Italy, FBK, and the translation company or agency translated SRL in Italy as well, and the University Dumaine, the University of Dumaine in France, and the University of Edinburgh in UK. So these are 4 academic institutions, and they jointly work together to develop and design this this CAT tool. So what's Matecate? Matecate is a free open source online CAT tool. So it's free, and that's what's really interesting about this website. This CAT tool is it's free. It's free for all users, for all translators, for all academics and researchers in the field of translation and interpreting. Basically, we'll focus more on translation. And it's, as I said, it's free and it's web-based CAT tool. So you can access this, tool using the internet. Of course, it's going to increase the profits. It's going to improve the security. It's going to, you can have also access to a network of professional translators as well. And we'll have, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, more on this later on, inshallah. So I think I need to shift to Arabic language in terms of discussing this tool, because I think it's so essential for students to access all information related to, or to understand all information related to this tool. So basically I will shift to Arabic language, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and discussing how to use Matecate in order to ensure that the information will be accessible by all the students at all levels, inshallah. So please, forgive me if I, basically, if you want me to continue speaking English, but I need to ensure that the message is communicated effectively and understandably with all the students from all levels, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, within our college, whether they are BA students, bachelor students, or MA students, graduate students. All right. So الآن بارك الله فيكم جميعا. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن ينفعنا وإياكم جميعا. نبدأ بمشيئة الله سبحانه وتعالى مناقشة كيفية استخدام Matecate، هذا البرنامج، كيف نستخدم هذا البرنامج. طيب، وما هي الطريقة الصحيحة؟ وسنركز بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى على الوظائف الرئيسية في هذا البرنامج. أول خطوة يحتاج لك أن تذهب مباشرة إلى هذا الموقع matecate.com and then you need to log in. This is so important. لماذا؟ لأنه تحتاج أن تحفظ جميع تراجمك، جميع الترجمات التي تقوم باستخدام ميتكات في ترجمة أي مستند، أي نص، حتى تحفظ هذه المستندات وهذه التراجم حتى تعود لها مرة أخرى وتوفر الوقت والجهد. فيحتاج لك في البداية أن تقوم بالاشتراك. تقوم باشتراك كما تشترك في أي برنامج. بالإمكان أنك to sign in with Google or you can use your own username or any other يعني email. Okay, keep it going. I need first to sign in. Bismillah. Yes. Got it. So this is my الآن نبدأ نشرح الانترفيس الخاص والواجهة الرئيسية لهذا البرنامج. طيب، عندنا معلومات نتكلم عن الفانكشن بار، يعني the above one here, menu here, we have about all information related to this CAT tool, the benefits, outsourcing, I will be speaking about it inshallah ta'ala. So you can outsource your translation tasks, and you can search for translators inshallah. I will talk about it later on inshallah. Okay, you have aligner as well, especially if you are working in the field of corpus linguistics. So this website has a very, very useful aligner or alignment tool. What does it mean? اللي محاذاة. You have the source text on the left side and you have the target text on the right side. طيب، بيانات الحساب مثل أي موقع اللي تحتاجه بشكل سريع وبشكل مبسط. في البداية تقوم بكتابة اسم المشروع الخاص بك. طبعا تطبيقاتنا إن شاء الله سبحانه وتعالى ستكون على نصوص سياحية. طيب، في البداية تكتب اسم المشروع، مثلا على سبيل المثال tourism text 1. هذا مثلا اسم المشروع، أي اسم مشروع. التيم personal، طبعا you can create a team as well. You can create a team وسيأتي الحديث عنها. النص from English into Arabic، تختار اللغة العربية. طبعا عندنا Arabic وعندنا Arabic Egyptian وعندنا أيضا Moroccan Arabic and Chadian Arabic. طبعا نختار اللغة العربية اللي هي Modern Standard Arabic. طيب، بحكم أن النص سياحي نختار Travel and Tourism، نختار السبجكت الخاص به. طيب، عندك الآن خيارين مهمة. لديك الآن خياران مهمة. الخيار الأول أن تترجم باستخدام My Memory Collaborative في المور settings. هنا عندك My Memory Collaborative Translation Memory shared with all Matecate users. هذه عبارة عن ذاكرة ترجمية شارك بها آلاف من مستخدمين هذا التطبيق، سواء كانوا عرب أو غير عرب. فبإمكانك تختار هذه الذاكرة، وبالتالي جميع ترجماتك all of your translations will be stored in this memory, and it's going to be public. Your translations will be public, so any Matecate users can access your translations, and you're gonna help. Basically, you're gonna help Matecate developers to improve and update their attached or installed translation memory. You have the option to create your own translation memory. يعني, for example, I already created my own translation memory, Eisa Tourism TM translation memory, and you can select it. You can create any type of translation memory. For example, مثلا if your name is Ali medical translation memory. You can create, and you're gonna have ID, specific ID, a specific ID for specific ID number for your translation memory, right? And of course, you can upload or import glossary or export, TMX, which is translation memory exchange. You can, of course, share resources with others because it's going to be private. Your personal translation memory is going to be what? Private. It's going to, and of course, you can delete it as well. You can delete it. All right. So I'll just leave it, by default, to the, I'll just select not private, to private, no. I'm going to select this one. All right. So I selected, I need to double check here. Yep, look it up. نسيت أمر مهم جدا أيضا. لديك خيار machine translation هنا. Machine translation by default Matecate will choose the best MT engine suited for your project. All right, so Cat tool or Matecate will choose the best machine translation for your own project. طبعا of course you can have the option to add your own MT engine. And you have almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You have 13 engines, MT engines. And of course, if you choose anyone, you need to provide extra information so it can be included in your, Matecate, Matecate, tool. Also, we have additional settings. عندك أيضا خيارات متقدمة أو خيارات متقدمة في الضبط. على سبيل المثال تستطيع تختار dictation الإملاء بحيث أنك تحول النص من نص صوتي verbal into a text written text. أيضا بإمكانك اختيار ما يسمى بالguest tag positions بحيث أنه يكون بشكل automatically بشكل إلكتروني Matecate سيختار لك ويحدد التاجز الخاصة بالنص أو الجمل الموجودة في النص الذي قمت بتحميله إلى Matecate. أيضا لدينا مر معنا في الحديث السابق QA Quality Assurance. Matecate عنده خيار أيضا كذلك وعنده خاصية وفانكشن ما يسمى automated or automation of checks or automation checks for punctuations علامات الترقيم numbers links symbols إلى آخره. طيب وهناك أيضا segmentation rules يفضل أنها تكون general والcross language matches إذا كنت تترجم إلى أكثر من لغة. طيب نعود مرة أخرى إلى الصفحة الرئيسية بعد ما ناقشنا السيتنجز. إذا في البداية تختار اسم المشروع. طيب where is it? Use it now. أوكي. اسم المشروع طبعا هذه نعم البروجكت الخاص بعد ما أو صفحة البرنامج بعد ما سجلت فيها. نختار tourism text 1A personal English to Arabic general لا نكتب travel and tourism. إذا كان الموضوع legal تختار مثلا legal على سبيل المثال. إذا كان legal نشوف عندنا legal documents contracts. إذا كان الموضوع medical عندنا أيضا medical pharmaceutical له علاقة أيضا بالصيدلة أو قد يكون media journalism publishing بالنشر إلى آخره. إذا نعود مرة أخرى travel. عندنا مواضيع كثيرة جدا في نستطيع أن نختار منها من خلال هذا البرنامج. طيب و by default سيختار لك إيش؟ سيختار لك my memory اللي هي العامة public translation memory. وبإمكانك تختار الريسورس الخاص بك أو your personal translation memory. لكن يفضل ترك الترجمة في البداية بشكل يعني collaborative translation memory تكون عامة. لديك خيار أيضا أن تختار pre-translate 100% في حال إذا كان عندك يعني على سبيل المثال translation memory سبق لك أن ترجمت هذا النص، فبإمكانك تختار هذه الخاصية بحيث أنه يترجم لك 100% إذا كان في 100% matches. طيب بعد ذلك click here to browse. نختار النص اللي هو النص اللي اخترته اللي هي translation أو tourism text 1A. نقوم باختياره، سيقوم بتحميل هذا النص. في مسألة مهمة، ميتكات يدعم أكثر من 80 نوع من أنواع الملفات. 80 نوعا من أنواع الملفات. فهذه مسألة مهمة. على سبيل المثال Word documents, PowerPoints أيضا slides, PDF files، أيضا يدعم التكست files، ويدعم أيضا الإيميجز scanned files، يدعم كذلك localization files etc. So many file formats are compatible with or are supported by cat tool, this cat tool, Matecate. طيب بعد ما تحمل وتكتب البيانات الخاصة بالمشروع تضغط على Analyze. You need to click on Analyze. يبدأ الآن الميتكات في حساب عملية النصوص أو عفوا يبدأ في حساب يعني الترجمة الخاصة بك. طيب لماذا عندنا ما يسمى بالفوليوم أناليسيس هنا؟ لماذا ظهرت لي هذه النسبة 99% saving in word count؟ لأن هذا النص الله يحفظكم جميعا سبق لي ترجمته باستخدام ميتكات، والترجمة السابقة التي ترجمتها حفظت في الترانسليشن ميموري اللي هي public translation memory، وبالتالي فحصلت على ما نسبته 99% من الترجمة. يعني الآن ميتكات باختصار شديد وبالعامية ريحني كثير ووفر علي وقت وجهد، لأنه النص already مترجم. وتتخيل أنت كمترجم أو أنت كمترجمة بأنكم تعملون على نصوص عديدة وتترجمون يعني أعداد هائلة من الكلمات والنصوص، وبالتالي لا يمكن الإنسان بقدرته العقلية أن يستذكر كل النصوص السابقة. طيب ولذلك حصلت على 99% لأن هذا النص سبق لي ترجمته باستخدام ميتكات. طيب في خيار ممتاز، طبعا يعطيك النص، عدد الكلمات في هذا النص 137 كلمة. طبعا بحكم أن النص سبق ترجمته فما تظهر عندي industry weighted وأيضا ميتكات weighted، لأنه يحسب لك باستخدام الميتكات كم عدد الكلمات المكررة، الكلمات اللي already عندي ترجمات سابقة في translation memories. عندي خيارين أو لدي خياران في هذه الصفحة split. إذا أردت أن أوزع العمل بين شخصين، بين مترجمين، يعني تخيل أن عندك فريق عمل team work of translators and you need to divide this task between two members. So you can divide this. You can divide it between 3 members. You can divide it between 4 up to 20 members. وبعدين Matecate will split the job between all individuals selected for this process. طيب الآن اللي تريده أنت كمترجم أو مترجمة تبدأ في عملية الترجمة. في خيار قبل ما نبدأ عملية الترجمة، لو لاحظتم في خيار ما يسمى بالباي ترانسليشن، هذا اللي أقصد به سابقا الأوتسورسينج. You can outsource your translation project through the use of this technological tool. outsource through project management plus translation. طيب من خلال موقع يسمى Translated, which is an Italian translation agency that, you know, or this agency has many translators, and some of them they work between Arabic and English as well, So they have the skills to translate from Arabic into English and vice versa. وتستطيع أن تسوي order خاصة إذا كان النص لم يسبق ترجمته سابقا. طيب احنا نتجاوز هذا الخيار. المهم انه you can buy the translation. طيب ما الفائدة من ذلك؟ هل المقصود بها انه اي يعني نص ياتيك مباشرة تقوم بشراء ترجمة؟ لا، المقصود بها اذا كان لديك على سبيل المثال مكتب ترجمة ولديك مجموعة من النصوص وليس لديك فريق العمل الذي يستطيع ان ينجز جميع هذه الاعمال في الوقت المحدد، فبامكانك ان تشتري الترجمة من خلال متخصصين عن طريق موقع Translated. أيضا for example, if you are working if you are translating into a language you personally do not know or speak that language, so you can buy the translation from skillful or knowledgeable person, basically a translator or competent translators in that particular language. طيب هذا موضوع آخر. طيب نبدأ نضغط على translate. الآن يفتح لي ما يسمى بالeditor page. ما المقصود بها؟ المقصود بهذه الصفحة هي فعلا the actual process of translation. You can do the translation here using this cat tool. طيب مثلا على سبيل المثال لاحظوا لماذا عندي علامة خضراء في كل هذه الجمل؟ كما ذكرت لكم سابقا لأن النص هذا سبق لي ترجمته باستخدام ميتكات، وسأحمل لكم بعد قليل نصا آخر غير مترجم، وسنرى إن شاء الله سبحانه وتعالى كيف بالإمكان أن نترجم إن شاء الله سبحانه وتعالى. طيب بإمكانك تقوم بتعديل الترجمة. على سبيل المثال كما ذكرت لكم التدريب هو على نصوص سياحية، فعلى سبيل المثال عسير Development Authority، هيئة تطوير منطقة عسير، ترجمتها هيئة تطوير منطقة عسير. طيب هذا هو النص السورس تكست. Already I have the translation which is restored and saved in my translation memory or in the public translation memory of Matecate. وبالتالي ما أحتاج أن يعيد على قولتهم أعيد العجلة من جديد، وأيضا كذلك أبدأ من الصفر وأبدأ أترجم كل مرة بشكل جديد. لا، إذا ترجمت شيء وتم وحفظ في ذاكرة الترجمة في هذا البرنامج، تستطيع كمترجم أو تستطيعين كمترجمة من استعادة هذا الشيء بشكل إلكتروني وفي ثواني معدودة طيب لن آخذ وقتا طويلا في مناقشة هذا المثال لأنه سبق لي ترجمته كما تلاحظون. على سبيل المثال tourism is our priority، ترجمتها السياحة هي أولويتنا. we aim to provide seamless tourism experience for middle class citizens، نهدف إلى تقديم تجارب سياحية سلسة للمواطنين من الطبقة المتوسطة وتعزيز مكانة عسير على خارطة السياحة العالمية. طيب on the global tourism map. طيب الآن لدينا عدة خصائص بحكم أن هذا النص محفوظ في ذاكرة الترجمة في هذا الجهاز، فلدينا عدة خيارات. بإمكاني حفظ أو download the translator، طبعا بإمكاني أمر عليها one by one وإن شاء الله سبحانه وتعالى سأريكم في النص الآخر. فلديك عدة خيارات: download the translation، فيما يسمى quality report، quality assurance، well done، no errors found، لا يوجد أي خطأ، quality assurance. تبحث أيضا comments، وأيضا بإمكانك تصدر الترجمة، بإمكانك تعمل revise للترجمة أيضا. طيب to do everything is translated. هنا لاحظوا على سبيل المثال، نأخذ مثلا على سبيل المثال هذه الجملة to transform Asiri into a global tourist destination through infrastructure projects that make it the epitome of modernity with authenticity and natural beauty at its core. طيب مترجمة جاهزة. طيب من فين جت الترجمة هذه الخضراء؟ لاحظوا من Public TM Arabic، ترجمتها في يوم 3 أكتوبر عام 2022، يعني تقريبا قبل أيام يسيرة، قبل تقريبا يومين. طيب ومحفوظة الترجمة وهي موجودة، وكل ما كان فيه نص متشابه مباشرة ستظهر لي الترجمة. طيب نأتي الآن للصفحة حتى يظهر معنا البروجكتس كامل. لاحظوا المشروع مكتمل، وتستطيع تعمل داونلود ذا اوريجينال، وتعمل أيضا كذلك split the translation. طبعا يحتاج لك حتى تعمل تنزيل للترجمة، لابد أن تمر عليها جملة وتعتمد الترجمة كاملة. ولكني أفضل صراحة أن نرفق نصا آخر غير مترجم حتى تظهر لنا إن شاء الله تعالى الخصائص المتعلقة بهذا التطبيق. طيب نقوم بإضافة نص آخر Tourism Text 1، فنسميه مثلا على سبيل المثال Tourism Text 2، النص المترجم رقم 2، أو النص السياحي رقم 2 Personal English into Arabic. نعم، بعدين نكتب أيضا Travel and Tourism subject. وكما ذكرت لكم بإمكانك أن تختار your personal translation memory. You simply leave it by default, which is going to be stored, which is basically your translation will be stored and reserved in the public My Memory collaborative translation memory provided by Matecate. طيب نقوم بتحميل النص اللي هو النص قلنا الثاني، ترجمة النص translation text 2. هذا هو النص الأصلي، نقوم بتحميله. بعد ذلك كما عرفت وإياكم جميعا نضغط على Analyze ويبدأ يقوم بتحليل النص. طيب عندي في هذا النص 55 كلمة، هذا total word count. طبعا لكل نص لينك خاص بإمكانك تشاركه مع فريق العمل إذا كان لديك فريق عمل. طيب حسبها لي ميتكات 50، لأن في كلمات already مترجمة، يعني أعطاني نسبة 10% مترجمة من خلال إيش؟ من خلال الترانسليشن ميموري التي والنصوص القريبة من هذا النص، يعني في أشياء already translated وموجودة في الترانسليشن ميموري. طيب تستطيع أن It's too large. I cannot create two chunks. The requested number of words for the first chunk is too large. طيب نعمل cancel هنا. نعمل الآن نبدأ بtranslate ونضغط على translate حتى نبدأ في الترجمة. الآن هذه يسمونها إيش؟ editor page of Matecate التي فيها عملية الترجمة إن شاء الله سبحانه وتعالى. طيب إذا نبدأ في الترجمة. طيب ستعتمد Asir region rely on the beauty of its nature and its rich culture which combines authenticity and modernity. طيب نشوف الترجمة. ستعتمد منطقة عسير على جمال طبيعتها rely on صحيحة، ترجمة صحيحة، وثقافتها الغنية. طبعا التي أفضل أن تكون والتي، فتقوم بالتعديل غير اللغة، والتي تجمع بين الأصالة والحداثة. خلاص الترجمة هذه صحيحة ومناسبة. طيب تعمل you click here translated. طبعا مباشرة ستحفظ الترجمة في public translation memory بتاريخ 15 اللي هو تاريخ هذا اليوم 15/20/22.
في عندك خيار يسمى Translation Memory، تبحث عن ترجمة مثلا كلمة معينة، على سبيل المثال الأصالة، فتختار مثلا كلمة Authenticity، تعمل لك في Translation Memories كيف ترجمت، تبدأ تبحث كيف ترجمت هذه المفردة. طيب لاحظوا الأصالة والموثوقية. الأصالة هذه في 4 أكتوبر، في 21/5 Authenticity. طيب هذا ترجمة يعني ما ترجمت، يعني الأصالة ترجمت الأصالة في 8/8/2022. تعمل بحث في Public Translation Memory الخاصة بميتكات. عندك خيار أيضا ما يسمى بالجلوسري اللي هي الفهرسة. بإمكانك أن تضيف الكلمة، تقول Authenticity وتضيفها كجلوسري وتقول الأصالة، ترجمتها الأصالة. ثم أيضا بإمكانك تضيف خلص هذه الكلمة وأصبحت موجودة Matecate user بتاريخ 15 أصبحت a glossary item has been added. جميل. ننتقل بعد ذلك إلى الجملة الأخرى، الجملة الثانية. طيب طبعا لو تلاحظون Matecate في الترجمة في أخطاء، وهذه كما ذكرت لكم أهمية المترجم. هنا تأتي أهمية المترجم. لا يمكن للآلة أن تترجم كل شيء مهما بلغت من القدرة التقنية ومهما بلغت من الذكاء الاصطناعي كما يسمى، فلا يمكن أن تحل محل المترجم. المترجم دوره مهم جدا في عملية الترجمة. طيب كما ستساهم الاستراتيجية and the strategy will also contribute to the social. الرخاء يفضل أن تغير بكلمة الازدهار. الازدهار الاجتماعي والاقتصادي للمنطقة. وهنا نعمل نقطة، لأنه وضع by default الماشين ترانسليشن وضعت ما يسمى بالفاصلة، يعني طيب وسيتم استخدام إذا في خطأ أيضا كذلك في ما يسمى في الترجمة لها علاقة بالتاج فانكشن اللي هي الخاصة بالسبيسز والأمور هذه، ولذلك دور المترجم مهم جدا في التعديل. نقول وسيتم الاستفادة these assists will be utilized. إذا وسيتم نبدأ نعدل في الترجمة وسيتم الاستفادة من assists الأصول. لا، في هذا السياق غير صحيحة الأصول، ولذلك يفضل وسيتم الاستفادة من هذه الممكنات أو تسميها أيضا المكتسبات، بالإمكان أن تسميها المكتسبات. وسيتم الاستفادة من هذه الممكنات من خلال المشاريع السياحية الكبرى التي ستكشف الستار. طيب أفضل أن نقول التي ستسدل الستار، الستارة مفعول به، ستسدل اللي هي المشاريع الفاعل، الستارة مفعول به، عن التنوع. لاحظوا في أخطاء في الترجمة ماشين ترانسليشن، التنوع الطبيعي والثراء الثقافي في منطقة عسير. أفضل إضافة هذا حتى تكون الجملة أكثر more understandable يعني. طيب منطقة عسير، ثم بعد ذلك tags translated. طيب ما المشكلة في هذه الممكنات؟ سيتم الاستفادة من هذه الممكنات، وبالتالي تم إضافة الترجمة.
وانتهينا. لاحظوا at the bottom of the Matecate of this editor page you have job ID رقم عملية الترجمة أو رقم الترجمة نفسها، اللغة والcompletion bar، والتالي يقول job completed. طبعا أنا ما ترجمت إلا جملتين فقط حتى أبين لكم ويسهل بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى يسهل لكم فهم المقصود من تطبيق هذا، من التطبيق على هذا البرنامج باستخدام هذه النصوص السياحية. No untranslated segment left. جميل. 100% weighted words 50 to do nothing. خلاص كل شيء everything has been translated. طيب نعود مرة أخرى. عندك خيار download the translation. بإمكانك أن تنزل الترجمة المترجمة، بإمكانك أن تنزل الأوريجينال تكست، بإمكانك أيضا to export the file XLIFF or to export the job new translation memory exchange، خصوصا لما تتعامل مع أكثر من برنامج تقني أو أكثر من كات تول يعني، فباستخدام بإمكانك أن تنزل هذا الشيء وتحوله على برنامج آخر كترادوس ولا مينيتيوب ولا وورد فاست إلى آخره. طيب لدي كواليتي ريبورت خاص بهذا النص، كل شيء الآن everything is really good، يبين لك الأشياء التي اشتغلت عليها كمترجم، يوضح لك إيش التعديلات اللي عدلتها، يوضح لك كل شيء خاص بالترجمة والتعديلاتها بكل طبعا بكل تفاصيلها يعني بكل تفاصيلها. طيب طبعا بعض النصوص كما ذكرت لكم أو بعض الترجمة الخاصة بهذا النص أو بهذه الجمل موجودة في النص السابق الذي ترجمته لأنها متشابهة، الكلمات متشابهة. طيب بإمكانك أن تعمل كأستاذ للمادة على سبيل المثال أو أستاذة للمادة، تعمل ما يسمى بالريفايز وتبدأ في عملية الإعادة كذلك. طيب الإعادة ومراجعة الترجمة مرة أخرى. طيب اللي يهمني الآن quality assurance، هل هناك أي مشكلة؟ عندك tag errors، وهذا طبيعي جدا لأنه هناك خطأ في النص الأصلي وبالتالي ظهر معنا ولكن لم يؤثر على عملية الترجمة، وأفضل تركها كما هي. طيب السيتنجز بإمكانك أن تعدلها كما تشاء كذلك، ثم بعد ذلك تذهب إلى صفحة المشروع الخاصة بك، البروفايل الخاص. got it. طيب الآن هذا هو النص. طبعا الإيشو هذه الخاصة بالتاج إيشو هير يحتاج لك يعني حذفها بشكل أساسي، تحذفها ثم بعد ذلك تحذف هذه المشكلة اللي هي التاج ايرور، وبعد ذلك تقوم بتنزيل النص وسيظهر النص كاملا معك في الترجمة، سيظهر معك النص كاملا أثناء الترجمة بمشيئة الله سبحانه وتعالى، وتكون الترجمة كلها مكتملة بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى وترجمة باستخدام الكات تولز. طيب مرة أخرى، إذا أردت أن تدخل أي نص لهذا البرنامج عن طريق هذه الصفحة project name وتسمي المشروع personal، وبإمكانك you can create your own teams، وأيضا كذلك من اللغة الأصل إلى اللغة التارجت الهدف، ثم بعد ذلك تختار السبجكت الخاص بالموضوع، ثم translation memory كذلك، ثم بعد ذلك تقوم بإضافة هذا النص إلى الترجمة، ثم بعد ذلك تبدأ في عملية الترجمة. طيب أعتقد بأنني يعني بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى غطيت أغلب الجوانب المتعلقة بهذا النص كاملا بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى، أو بهذين النصين كتطبيق على برنامج الميتكات. أخيرا وليس آخرا، أود أن أنبه على مسألة مهمة جدا لجميع
الزملاء والزميلات وجميع الطلاب والطالبات الكرام، لأن التقنية في تطور مستمر كما ذكرت لكم سابقا، وبالتالي فسيكون في تحديثات مستمرة سواء في هذا البرنامج أو برنامج آخر، وبالتالي مهم جدا كمترجم أو مترجمة التركيز على عدد محدد من هذه التراجم والاستفادة منها بمشيئة الله سبحانه وتعالى، وتطوير القدرات والمهارات في هذه البرامج حتى تساعد على يعني إخراج ترجمة متميزة ورائعة بمشيئة الله سبحانه وتعالى. ومع مرور الوقت ومع كثرة الاستخدام ومع كثرة الترجمة باستخدام هذه التطبيقات وهذه الأدوات التقنية، سيكون لديك بمشيئة الله تعالى كمترجم أو مترجمة حصيلة كبيرة جدا من الأعمال الترجمية باستخدام هذه الوسائل التقنية التي تساعد المترجم والمترجمة في مجال الترجمة. وبإذن الواحد الأحد إذا كتب الله سبحانه وتعالى لنا ولكم عمر، سيكون لدي بمشيئة الله سبحانه وتعالى أو عند أحد الزملاء بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى دورة متخصصة في أحد البرامج الأخرى المشهورة، على سبيل المثال ترادوس وميميكيو وورد فاست. لكن مشكلة هذه البرامج أنها يعني للأسف تتطلب اشتراكات، واشتراكات ربما ستكون باهظة الثمن ومكلفة على يعني طلابنا وطالباتنا. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى في ختام هذه الدورة المباركة أن يوفقنا وإياكم جميعا إلى العمل الصالح والعلم النافع، وأن ينفعنا بما علمنا، وأن يزيدنا علما وعملا، إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. وما كان لي من توفيق فمن الله وحده سبحانه وتعالى، وما كان من تقصير فمن نفسي والشيطان، والله ورسوله بريئان. وأسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يوفقنا وإياكم إلى كل خير، وأن يسددنا وإياكم في القول والعمل، إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. إذا لديكم أي تساؤلات فيما يخص هذه الدورة أو أي شيء له علاقة بالترجمة، فيمكنكم التواصل معي شخصيا عن طريق الإيميل الذي ظهر لكم في بداية العرض الخاص. So if you have any questions about translation and about translation webinar, you can contact me you can email me using this email address, and I will be happy inshallah to answer any questions you will send inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يكتب لنا ولكم القول والعمل. إلى لقاءات أخرى بمشيئة الله سبحانه وتعالى. نستودعكم الله الذي لا تضيع ودائعه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.